Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Newsroom. I'm Maddie Paul, and the live cam behind me is our third live camera in Deadwood. Look how much fun they're having out there. They're playing on the ice and stuff. This one's fun because Scott Munt told me that this is what he calls the Hallmark live cam, and I'm kind of understanding it now when you look at how much fun it's going on, and it just looks very festive. But this is Inside the Newsroom. We bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area, and we bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about these trending stories. And they're the same stories that you see every day on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. We had a very busy day yesterday. Governor Larry Rhoden gave his first budget address at the South Dakota State Capitol in Pierre, and again, that was yesterday. And KELOLAND News had team coverage of his budget address, both on air and online. And we'll look into that team coverage right now. A key point that might stick out to many is that Rhoden is proposing a 0% increase of funding to the so-called Big Three of schools, healthcare providers, and state employees. So Lauren Solik was in Pierre for the address.
When it comes to state aid for K-12 education, healthcare providers, and state employees, Governor Rhoden says he wants to keep funding flat because revenue hasn't grown much for the state.
There's been a lot of speculation on the economy, and I won't sugarcoat it. Revenues have been very flat, only rising slightly. But we have to keep the context in mind. We're coming off some of the strongest years in our state's history, or for that matter, any state's history. Our economic growth may have slowed, but we're comparing that to the fastest growth that South Dakota's ever seen.
Rhoden's budget does include some specific one-time spending proposals and loan opportunities, though. Intertwined in those proposals was the idea of keeping South Dakota, quote, strong, free, and safe.
We'll keep South Dakota safe by preparing for the opening of the new women's prison in Rapid City, investing in our National Guard and Highway Patrol, and prioritizing security at County Courthouse. And we'll keep South Dakota free by improving freedom to travel, investing in the freedom to learn, and prioritizing rural projects that maintain the freedom to live in the community of your choice.
The governor closed his address by saying he's eager to work with lawmakers on this budget during the 2026 legislative session.
My budget maintains reserves at 12.5%, but we have $14 million still unallocated. I'm leaving that funding on the bottom line for the legislative priorities.
So Rhoden's budget has 3 zeros for the state's Big Three expenses. And digital reporter Ray Yost broke down what that means in a KELOLAND.com original story, and she joins us now at the digital desk to talk about it. So, Ray, we know that Rhoden's Big Three were the schools, healthcare providers, and state employees. For your story, what elements did you want to highlight the most?
I think I was doing this in real time as he was giving his budget address. And I think what emerged was the flat increases for the state employees, K-12, and Medicaid reimbursement or health care. I think, you look at what he's talking about, and those three touch quite a few people. And then you start to look at, okay, what about the budget reserves? Because there's a lot of discussion amongst lawmakers about that. So you're trying to hit a variety of highlights as you're writing the story in real time, and then you can work back and flesh it out a little bit after the speech ends. But I think those top three things stood out, and then there's also specific projects like I highlighted airport, 0% up to $50 million for airport projects in Rapid City and Sioux Falls, because those have been things that people long-term in both cities have advocated for a while.
Right. And as you were writing, because again, you were writing in real time as Rhoden was giving that address, did you find your angle changing at all as it was going on, or were you pretty clear about, okay, I know what's happening here, I'm going to write this?
Yeah, I don't know if the angle changes as much as you're updating new information as he says it. You're using his budget address as a guide, you're listening to it. When things, that he says or things that he highlights or includes, as those kind of emerge, you maybe start to switch things up in an order and add new information, or as you're writing it. It's kind of hard to explain, but you're updating it with information as he says it. You're also saying, okay, I can take a breath now, so maybe I can add a little bit more to what he said about zero funding for zero increases for education, because he went into a little bit for some of the reasons why. So it is changing and shifting, and just as you're kind of allowed to update it as you go.
And can the legislature make changes to Rhoden's budget?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been changes made in the past few years. The governor may propose. Right now, he's proposing those flat increases, no increases for state employees K through 12 and healthcare. The legislature can make changes in that. Lawmakers can say, we need to cut, or we need to maybe give them 1%, and I'm just throwing numbers out here, or 2%.
Right.
But the legislature can make changes.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you hope viewers take away from reading your article?
Well, maybe not just my article, but I think we talked about this a little bit before. You had Lauren's story. Bob was covering this as well. And the legislative session is coming up in January, so we will have more and more and more coverage, not only on the budget, but what happens with this budget during the session.
Right. It's going to be really busy for us. Well, Ray, thank you so much for explaining all these details here at the Digital Desk. And as Ray was saying, we had team coverage of this event that you can see if you go to KELOLAND.com. Just scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now. It will take you to our homepage. And everyone stick around, because after the break, we're looking, where does South Dakota's property tax money go? That answer will be explained when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Property taxes are expected to be a hot topic during the 2026 legislative session. And our digital reporter, Michael Dorn, took a look at the breakdown for those property tax funds in a recent KELOLAND.com original story. So, Michael, what kind of research did you have to do for this type of story, and what was that process like?
Yeah, so I did a bunch of research here. I looked at the breakdown of what property taxes are, where that money goes, and kind of how you even calculate that for the year here. So I did a lot of digging on there. Obviously, yesterday was the governor's big budget address as well. So he also talked a little bit on property tax. So getting a little bit from all angles here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Rhoden speaking about it yesterday, did anything stick out to you from what he said, especially for this story?
Yeah, so this goes back to a legislative committee on property taxes here, where I believe there were 19 different proposals that were recommended to the legislature on property taxes. So those are going to be heard at the legislature later next year here. But the governor will also have his own plan that he will be presenting here with the State of the State address as well. So there's definitely more to come on property taxes. This is definitely not the last we have heard of this by any means.
Yeah, that's kind of what Ray Yost was saying as she was here before you joined us. Like, this is not the end, especially when we're covering stories like these. But for your story, at the end of it, you included a section about how property tax is collected. In reading it, I was personally able to understand something that I thought was at first very difficult to understand. For you as a writer, do you like to write in ways that kind of help viewers understand something so conceptually big like that, especially in a conversational sense? How did you find yourself doing that for this story?
Yeah, so the way I like to kind of put it is, because I didn't really understand how property taxes worked when I was writing it, but I was doing this research and I had it explained to me, and just kind of breaking that down really, really helped. Just to kind of throw this out there, so property taxes are formulated every year, basically through that property taxes are what fund schools, counties, a bunch of ambulance boards, fire departments. The list goes on and on, obviously, but that's what a lot of counties use for building roads. That's what a lot of counties use for law enforcement. That's what funds schools, right? That's what property taxes are for here. And the list goes on and on and on here, obviously.
Right.
But the main thing I found was the reason property taxes are different every year. And it's because every year those school boards, those county commissioners, whoever that may be, will come together and they will say, this is our need for the year. This is the money we need to, that was either through government mandated programs or whatever it may be. This is the money we need for this year. And then that number is then taken, and that's kind of how you get that property tax rate. Then is it all has to equal to that need that those counties and school boards and whoever else set. So.
Well, you sound like an expert now, so I'm glad that the research paid off. Thank you for writing your article and sharing those details here at the Digital Desk. Everyone stick around. We'll have more on Inside the Newsroom when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. A rare position has opened within the Sioux Falls Police Department. For the first time in over 5 years, the city is hiring a forensic specialist. Sydney Hoyer talks with the department about why they feel another specialist is needed.
As the city of Sioux Falls and its surrounding areas grow each year, so does the police department.
The expansion of services as the city continues to grow doesn't just touch one area of our department, it touches every area of our department.
Now, a small but well-known department is looking for a new specialist.
If you watch TV and you see CSI or some of the shows that are on there, there's a lot of interest in forensics. It's not exactly what you see on TV, but there are some elements that are similar from a crime scene standpoint.
The team is currently only made up of 6 people who are called out to an average of 500 crime scenes each year.
We put in our normal 40 hours, but then when we're on call, we can get called out at any time. We want somebody that can work as a group, but also work individually, because at a crime scene, a lot of times you might be the only crime scene investigator. You will have assistance from other detectives or law enforcement personnel, but you might be the only person.
And although there is a lot of interest in a position like this, it isn't often one opens up.
I usually have to tell them, hey, we don't actually hire very often, and now we'll have the opportunity to actually the people surrounding here to hire in this area, and that will be awesome.
And Sydney Hoyer joins us at the Digital Desk to talk more about this story. And Sydney, I love that he brings up that this is kind of similar to what you may see on like a crime show or something like that. What stood out to you the most as you were putting the story together?
I just thought it was interesting how rare a position like this is, because I feel like going to college, I heard about people going for a degree that would land them a job like this. But like she said, it's very rare that they are able to hire someone and open a new position up.
I agree. I was surprised to learn just how small our current team is. I believe it was 6 people in about, 500 crimes that they see a year. I just imagined it being bigger in my head, I guess. So I'm glad that the story opened my eyes to that statistic. What else surprised you?
Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. The small numbers, it was crazy just to think we always see these crime lab vehicles, and it feels like they do so much work because they do. They go out to 500 calls a year, and yet their team is literally made up of only 6 people within our huge city of over 200,000.
What drew you into creating this story initially? How did you find yourself becoming curious and wanting to learn more about the topic?
Yeah, it was super interesting. Chief Toom was saying that not only is this department growing, but their entire police force is growing as the city grows as well. So I feel like I learned even more things from the story than just about the forensic specialists. But it was just super interesting to learn more about this team and to be able to see inside their crime lab vehicle as well.
Agreed. And if anything, what do you hope viewers take away from this story or learn more about?
I think it kind of gave me a newfound appreciation for what these people do, because to think it's you and 5 other people on this team, that's a lot of work. And they're on call for a week straight, which means they could be called out at 2 a.m. and again at 7 a.m.
That's a great point. Well, Sydney, thank you so much for sharing your details and your writing experience here at the Digital Desk. And everyone stick around. We'll have more on Inside the Newsroom when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Scott was actually singing some holiday tunes earlier.
Yep, I was, but not anymore.
That he suddenly stopped doing. It's because we were looking at the live cam.
The camera is on. I don't do that.
The Deadwood. You don't sing in front of the camera. I know, because I keep trying. But it's fine. I hope at some point before the end of the month, I can get you to sing a good holiday tune for Inside the Newsroom, because I think that would be fun.
Not happening.
We'll find a way. You call this live cam, I just found out, this is our Deadwood 3 live cam. I said that at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
But you call it the Hallmark camera.
Oh, look at it. It's beautiful. And it's snowing, and you got the Christmas tree right there in the center. Now you covered it up.
Well, now it's me. I'm the Christmas tree in the center.
There you go. There's that little ice rink in there
Yeah,
the kids are falling down on.
the ice
Isn't
rink.
that cool? That is awesome.
I love these live cams so much. Again, everyone, you can find them on our website, KELOLAND.com, in our weather section. Speaking of KELOLAND.com in our weather section, Scott, how's your snowfall prediction going?
Oh, you're bringing that up.
Yeah, why not? How's it going?
Well,
I was
it's
looking at it
going-
earlier today.
I think it's okay. I think we are a little bit above average for the year so far, and I did predict below average snowfall. So I could use a little bit more there in Rapid City, but at the beginning of the year, I'll take what I can get.
Do you only pick these four?
Those are our main four forecast cities.
Okay, for cities at least.
Yeah, I mean, for me to really split it out and bring in, everybody on the map that you see over there to the right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be really, that would be a chore to do all that research and all those numbers.
He's just checking boxes for this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be a lot more than what I do to put all that research in that I do for my regular snowfall prediction.
I love all of these, but you're doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're up at 8.5 in Sioux Falls, and we'll get a clipper to come through this weekend, the first half of the weekend.
Yeah.
We'll add a little bit more. And with our temperatures going up and down, we can add some more here and there, minor accumulations, if anything, but no major systems that I can see on the horizon. And Brian and I talk a little bit about that on whether or not there are no major systems in the works. But, with this northwest pattern that we're in, we'll just have to time these clippers that come in as, they're notorious for dropping 1, 3, some instances, maybe even a little bit more.
In your snow season for your snowfall prediction, that's from October to May?
It goes
or
all the way
March?
out to the end of April.
April, okay. Because we don't get snow in May.
We
right?
do. It
do?
averages like around 1/10 of an inch.
Okay.
And
Is that
I think
more west?
A couple of the times, no, even in Sioux Falls.
Really? Okay.
And I think since I've been here, we've had measurable snow the first couple of days of May. I don't even think it's happened a handful of times.
That's crazy. If that happened in Sioux Falls, I'd maybe cry a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think you would. I think you would.
Cry because
I've known you enough that, I think you would. Cold and snow.
Yesterday during midday, Travis Fossing brought up that with Adam, they were doing something after my Inside the Newsroom tease aired. And he said something like, whenever Maddie records Inside the Newsroom, she always complains about being cold or something like that. But he goes, I was like, Travis. But then he said something like, but I feel like today, Adam, she had a good reason to complain. And I was like,
oh, yeah. Well,
I didn't even complain yesterday. I've been trying to say so positive.
Positive, right.
I got to let Travis know when he walks back and works at his desk over there. I'll let him know that we're staying positive here.
Otherwise, we'll no longer show him with that other camera.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's hard to show it with
Right?
the camera. When we have the live cam, I want to make sure we have more of the live cam than the green screen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I understand.
Here's how I'm staying positive, too. I drink hot tea over
Hot
here
tea.
now. Hot tea.
Hot tea?
Tea.
Is it a special flavor? Is it just regular tea, or what is it?
Today, it's ginger turmeric
Oh, really?
to make me feel nice and warm, but then also it's good for digestion. So I'm like,
That's the turmeric, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
Ginger is too, though. Ginger helps with that, but like turmeric is,
I add turmeric to
Better.
chicken soup.
that is so yummy. I add it to my meat sometimes. Like if I'm doing like ground turkey, I'll add some turmeric to it. You can't really taste it. I mean, turmeric's very strong. Like it is a strong flavor or like seasoning, whatever you want to call it, but I like it. It just makes me feel good.
Now, do you like spicy food?
I love spicy food. I think we've talked about this before, like if you're a sweet, savory, or salty person. I think you said savory or salty, right? You're not a sweet guy.
No, I
not
tried.
spicy.
I try not. Oh yeah, I am.
Maybe you said spicy then. Maybe you said
Yep.
spicy. Because I think I asked you sweet or savory and you said spicy.
Yeah, we got a little bottle of Tabasco sauce in the fridge, hopefully at all times. I know it's getting low. I looked at it the other day. I'm like, ooh, this is getting low. I got to get some more.
I do keep hot sauce here at the station too.
Do you really?
Because I have to. And I keep
What do you put it on at the station?
my lunch. Like what I bring.
Which is what?
Do
Is it? Do you vary that?
Yeah, sometimes I kind of have my meal routines though. Right now, I really like a good mac and cheese with a little chicken sausage and some veggies, and so I douse that in some hot sauce.
Yep, I can see that.
I gotta douse it though.
I agree. I agree there.
You like the mac and cheese part or the hot sauce part?
Both.
I'm getting distracted by the ice rink kids. They're having fun.
Yeah, that's a great shot. I love that. It's hard to show in the morning though because it's dark.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. What live cams do you use usually in the mornings?
Well, we use a lot for Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
Things that are trying to be lit up a little bit more. Watertown, Aberdeen, sometimes Pierre able to get a nice shot of the Capitol, as long as it's not foggy. Rapid City every now and then, and even Terry Peak, you're able to pick up on some snows during the early morning hours. Huron, also a good one. Those ones that are in the bigger cities, towns that are lit up a little bit more.
Trying to look at other ones now. I always like the Deadwood ones. I like Terry Peak and all the Sturgis ones too. Watertown's good. Sioux Falls.
Yeah, some good snow there on Terry Peak.
Yeah, well, they had their snow. Should I pull up the one that they have now? Hold on.
Yeah,
maybe I can do it with this. So I'm on once again weather. Then you go to live cam. This is Terry Peak right now, or at least as of this morning.
Nice.
No, nice.
Yeah, they need that. I mean, they need snow for
I
the
guess
skiers.
yeah, they're opening this weekend.
Yeah, so great.
Or this Friday, they're opening. So we'll see.
Check Great Bear listed on there. Yeah,
Yeah, there it is. Or this is the second one. Oh, this is pretty. I should have used this one.
That's good.
I love the live cams.
Now, I'm not sure when they're planning on opening.
Yeah, they haven't
making
said
snow.
anything.
They
Yeah,
added
they were
some
making snow.
And we got some cold air here today.
I love these live cams. This is a pretty one right now. He's so pretty. All right, Scott, we got to wrap it up. Any last lingering snow thoughts? Hallmark thoughts? Want to sing?
No, you're not getting me on that one.
One day. I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to figure it out. Well, everyone stay updated for developing weather conditions. Stay safe on the roads. Watch whether or not, if you're curious about any other cold fronts coming through, snow this weekend.
On Saturday.
Saturday was a big one. So whether or not on KELOLAND Plus, now on demand. And keep watching Inside the Newsroom, even though we're ending this episode right now. We'll be back tomorrow, though. We're a daily show, Mondays through Fridays. So we'll be back tomorrow. And until next time, have a great day, everyone. Scott?
Do the wave. There we go.